Boom. Howdy, howdy. Later than build. This is working. Sorry about that. Took a little while. I was sidetracked with something else. And I figured I would definitely come back on today because yesterday felt like such a frustrating stream, I guess. But in hindsight, it was quite good as well. Purely because, so the way I solved the shrooms was kind of, didn't need to be done that way, if that makes sense. Like, it was kind of a weird way of doing it. But the cool thing is I can show you both ways. So let's fire up this one. So I kind of knew this, but I didn't let on stream that I knew that this was the path I was going to take. I kind of just wanted to do it and walk through as we did it, and I kind of knew this part would come later, but it didn't because it took me so freaking long to do it. But I can show you how it works. So this is originally how like we got something. So we had these like mushrooms bouncing, and this is one SVG and like 50, no, not 50. You can do it with 50, but there's 25 mushrooms bouncing from a point in the middle. And this is a use. So if we go in, it looks a bit wild. I love this marquee effect. I don't know why or how this came about, or I've never seen it before, but yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, so there's like 50 groups, and they're all using this one shroom. So like you have one shroom, and then you create a different group, and each one uses it. And that's what we did. And then we just animate the wrappers. And all I've done since yesterday is I added some extra pieces to the timeline. So there's like a scale X and a scale Y. So it kind of makes it look like it's squishing a bit. It's kind of hard with SVG because it's not ideal. And realistically, probably do this with like 3 and just do like a quick model for like a squidgy mushroom. And I might do that just to show another way of doing it. There's actually another trick as well if you do it that way, is doing like transform origin or kind of transform origins in Three.js, where you do the translate of like -50 at the height and then you scale. But yeah, that's for another video or another demo. But what happens here is that if you did, so if I show you how this works, so if we just took out this bottom part, so you see there's just like one jump. So they go up and they come down, and actually that jump technically isn't right, but you get away with it. So this like jump timeline, I can get rid of this one as well. Don't need that one. So what I did, all I've done is I've created this. Oh, interesting. Why is that broken? Oh, because of this. We don't need this part. There we go. So yeah, they all jump up and then they all squish back down. And that squish is actually in the wrong place. That squish should be at the start. That's the wrong. So they go up and they, okay, that didn't change anything. Or should it be 0? That's interesting. I mean, this part isn't overly a concern. I'm kind of just showing you the technique here. It doesn't really matter because this will just chain around, and you will see why that is the case. So, annoyingly, this should work though. I don't know why it isn't. It should come in at... Oh, I know why. Because it's doing it based on this, which wouldn't make any sense. It would actually be based on the entire timeline, which would be the duration, which is 1, so it would actually be at about 1.75. So if we... Oh no, this would be 0. Oh no, this part is right. This part is not right. And now it just doesn't do it. That's strange. I wonder how I've managed to... Well, anyway, these position parameters, we can come back and look at them. The main point is that you see what's happening here. So all that we have is what... Got something stuck in my throat. Oh, I don't know what. The main point is we have one timeline that we generate. And then what we do is we create this padded timeline. And all I do is I create... So I could do this. So you could see it constantly jump. So like they go up, and they squidge down, and they come up, and they squidge down, they come up, and they squidge down. But they all have to do it, which doesn't kind of work. But if you add the the extras, then there's a bit more of a fluidity to it. But there'll still be a break. And then the trick is that what you do is you just animate between 2 time points on this timeline. And that gives you this like continuous effect. Now, that was only part of the problem. The other part was positioning everything, which I actually sat down and worked out, which was an absolute pain. But I can show you a better way. A better way to do this is actually to not do any positioning with a GSAP at all. Take all of that out. And then if you do... did I call it mushroom grid? Yeah. A better way is to actually use display grid on a container and then rotate it and get the perspective we want, and then just offset the rotation of all of the mushrooms. So what you can do is you can see here that they have a transform of, I don't know if you can make this out on stream, it's quite small. You can kind of, well, I could just show you in the code, to be honest. But the actual thing we're calling the field, like the container, that is rotated like this. And then all you have to do for the mushrooms is reverse the rotation, or reverse the transform even, and offset it. So like we rotate the plane by 32, then 32, then 90, and then the shroom you just rotate by minus 90, 32, 32, and it like counters the plane's rotation and shows it as if it wasn't on the plane, if that makes sense. But you still get the grid positioning. The neat thing about this is then you can do stuff like this. So you could just do grid gap and just do like 2 rem and it will just split them out. And now you can just do however you want to do it. So you can just split them across, I don't know, and then you can do like pixels or like VMen, and then scale it up as they go bigger, I guess. So you can spread out, you can go, which is actually way better. How are you doing? Are you good? I always find it. I always have to remember that that's your handle. We're gonna do your dribble shot in a moment. I think we should give that a go. I just wanted to walk through how I solved this because it was a bit of a pain. But I think it looks a lot better now. The only thing I do kind of want to do before we get off this, I'd like to fix that timeline. That would be cool. Just because it looks a bit weird, and I thought the squash was happening at the right time, and it clearly isn't, so let's fix that squash. Although, yeah, we can, nice. Where is it? Up. I know why this isn't working actually. It could be because we need to do I don't know if you saw any of my tweets earlier today, but I actually like did a massive thread on how I got into doing all this, and yeah, like I kind of started out by doing like an internship. That kind of looks weird. The middle ones just aren't working. Although when I wonder if it'll sort itself out when we do this. Yeah. There we go. Now, slightly off, but I think they're correct now. That is a big time gap. I've not really eaten yet today. Right, there's one thing ticked off. I guess the cool thing about this as well, like, this wasn't what we intended to build yesterday, but it's actually going to work out perfectly for the article I'm writing because it uses the same technique, so quite happy about that. Right, this was something else But this is an article I will write. This isn't. We won't look too much at this. Oh, and I've closed code. But yeah, I did this. I sorted this out today, and I will do a quick post on how to do it. So you can nick the code and put it on your own newsletter signups. But yeah, basically hit this button and yeah, that's what I ended up building in the end. I could have done pointer X, but I'm just doing it on submit. I just found it, I thought it'd be easier. That way there's actually like validation, because if you don't do it, you can't submit, so it's fine. Yeah, I'll hook that. I'll put that in like a dev2 or something. I'll throw that up later. Or I'll write it today and I'll post it tomorrow, because that one won't be. That's like a quick post. I can sign that off. Then let's have a go at this. I think I can make this or something very similar to it. Is there audio? So the trick here is there's a little bit of like perspective happening, but it's actually pretty good. It's like the directional buttons. So yeah, we'll make this. Let's have a go at making this. So I'm just going to shift it out of the way for a minute. And then I guess to finish, maybe we'll see how far we get with this. And then maybe I'll do some of my next portfolio stuff. I'll do like I'll do the storybook integration perhaps. Ridiculous though, I got it to that point yesterday in like maybe like 2 hours. I had a break between making the repo and actually uploading it, but find you the, where is it? Let me find out how long it took. So between, yeah, I think it took like 2 hours. I know which pen that's going to be. Yeah, it took like no time at all. But I ended up with a site running off Netlify, CMS, with sound, with Tailwind, with Next, with a blog hooked up. I'm trying to race Niall, that's what it is. But Niall won't be here, so he won't hear that. Plus, I have a reason for making it. I'm going to make it for George, and then I'm going to use it myself. That was kind of the idea. What should we call this? 404 lights. Howdy, howdy, sir. How you doing? You just missed it. We just chatted through how I got the mushrooms working. Did you see them? I guess they're still running. No, they're not running. Damn you, Stefan. Oh yeah, I got them to this point. The end of the stream was terrible because I was so frustrated working it out, and then I've changed my technique completely and ended up with this. Which I'm much happier with. So, but yeah, if we did that, and then I don't know if you saw this, but I hooked up some. Yeah, so I was just saying earlier that I messed around with so I'll just show you how this works as well. So we've got confetti there. I'll do an article for that. But what I did, I worked it out properly in the end. So I think you might have seen on the stream, like I worked out how to position them, which was crazy, but and not a good way of doing it. But one of those like I want to solve it things because it would just bugged me if I didn't. And then what I did here was I actually this is how I would have or should have done it. But at the time, I was like so adamant I wanted to solve it that way, which wasn't really great viewing. But the trick is to do a grid, rotate the grid, and then offset the individual elements in the grid by the grid's rotation, and that way you can get around it. So here I'm just doing rotate, and then on the individual pieces, I just flip the counter the rotation backwards. And the neat thing about that is obviously you get like grid gap and everything, and you can do whatever you want with it. So, you know, you could just change the rotation and now they're all like that. I don't know what I've got stuck in my throat, but it's really annoying. But yeah, how about you can just do whatever. Yeah, this would have been the way I would have normally done it or should have done it, and I just kind of, because we went along that road of like, let's do it in SVG, I just really wanted to work out how to position it all. It really wasn't necessary, but I just, yeah, thought it would be a cool way of doing it. And it, yeah, it kind of got there. But yeah, the cool thing is like this actually works pretty well. It kind of blows up in CodePen, which is annoying, but oh well. Let's get rid of this, or let's commit them anyway. Thank you, thank you. Man, we are close to 1,000. That's one hell of a milestone. If we get to 1,000, I'll be buzzing. It's been really neat, like having everyone drop in, even just for the social side of it. To be honest, I know sometimes I sit here and just jam on code for so long. But to be honest, the best times are when I just drop in for a couple of hours and we just chill, chatting about stuff. And I make something. You don't tend to see which ones I think are good because they end up on YouTube. So, right, let's... Oh, I can't push these yet. I normally say when people... what I should do now is when you drop in, if you're a new follow, introduce yourself. If you want to. You don't have to. Right. I don't think... Oh, do you know what? We're going to do this cool. We're going to do this cool. I've got a cool way to do this. Ah, this is a good demo, Praveen. This was a great shout. So yeah, Stefan, I don't know if you saw when we come in, but Praveen shared this on Discord, and I think this is a pretty good one to go with. So we're gonna have a go, see where we get to. So let's start this one up. So yeah, there's not too much to this. Obviously we have like the H1, that's going to be a 404. And then what kind of copy do we have? We could do a H2, I guess. And I'm just going to open up the style file and then I can close this back. And then what do we have? P tag. The only thing with this 404 pages, I'm not 100% sure how accessible this would be. But I like it. And if it works well, then maybe I'll throw it on my own site. Yes. And it's freaking awesome, right? I've got a trick as well, if you want to see it. Alright, we're just going to link it to my site. Shameless, but it's my CodePen. Right, that should update. Cool. I've done some freelance work with them, but I didn't work on it. But I do know some cool tricks. So one trick is that you can, and this one's really cool. I love this one. So if we started a new pen, and I actually want to redo mine, so this would be quite good. If you do an iframe, and then you do, oh, wow, can't type. Yeah, if you do an iframe, and then you do like the link to your, so this should show up. Okay, that's interesting. Why is it not showing up? That's the right URL. That's strange. I don't know why that's not showing up. That is, I've not messed up that URL, have I? Yeah, that's correct. What am I missing? Iframe source. Oh yeah, it's right here. Ah. This used to work and it used to be really cool. That's a shame. Nah, it doesn't work anymore. Boo. So I actually started making like my own, that's annoying. Ah, there we go. I actually made a thing for this. But I don't know how well that will work. So I actually made a repo like a few years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago. And you can actually style bits of your CodePen profile. And then once you're ready, you just push it up. But I have no idea if it actually works anymore. Really sad about this. I kind of want to do some styling on my profile at some point. But yeah, the trick I was going to show you, which is another one. And it's kind of cool. And not a lot of people know about this, but it's really handy when you're writing blog posts. So say I wanted to clone this, but not fork it. I have this little bookmark clip that I wrote, and you can see it's like a JavaScript function. But essentially, if you create a pen with a template of any ID, it will pre-fill that CodePen, which is pretty neat. But don't advertise it too much because obviously it means people can just copy other people's stuff, which isn't great. but it's super useful when you need to create like, so for example, it used to take me ages to get stuff like that done, but when I'm in like write a blog post mode, in fact the bookmarks bar shouldn't even be showing, but when I'm in like write a blog post mode, I create all these variations of demos, but it's much easier because all I have to do is press the bookmarklet and I just generate a new pen based on the next one, and then I can just create a demo that kind of builds, create a blog post that builds upon a like one demo and just builds it up over time. So like I'll just walk through my blog post, just adding bits to each bit of code, and then I'll just update it and then bookmark it, create a new one, and keep going like that. And it's a really, really easy way to just generate new pens. But yeah, a little trick if you haven't seen that before. But yeah, I think Praveen's demo here, I think I might be able to shoehorn this into a CSS Tricks article if we're lucky. Yeah, you can refer to your own pen, which is fine. Like I have that on mine, although it's so out of date that the styling is actually wrong. Like this pro tag is all the way up here, and it used to actually be in the correct place. But yeah, the issue, like you used to be able to just drop an iframe into a page and style it and see the changes, which was awesome. But because they changed the way the iframes work, you can't do it anymore. Although I'm wondering if you can do. Let's just do this quick. I wonder if it's which way the iframe security is working. Because if it still allows you to do it, oh no, yeah, it's a refusal from CodePen, so you can't actually do it anymore, which is sad. Yeah, I had some ideas for making a really cool custom styled CSS page, but I guess they'll have to go on hold. Right, so we're going to start with, so if we look at this, and this is why I might be able to shoehorn this into my latest article, but we just got this swing. But everything's powered by one thing, right? The swing. Nothing else. So we can create everything and then power this swing. And for that, we can just animate one variable from like, what do we say, -45 to 45, and just alternate it back and forth. And then that way, if we use variables, we can just power the entire scene with one registered property, which will be pretty sweet. So I think we can do this. So we go like initial value 0, inherits false, and we'll do syntax. Let's go with integer today. All right, so that's our property. We don't need that. And we don't need that. I really need to update this, but we'll go min height 100 vh display. Don't know how to do this part. Maybe do flex direction column. The only thing with this, doing it this way, is overflow. Doesn't play nice. God, my fingers can't type. Ugh. Wow, 3 times to write justify content center. That is embarrassing. Yeah, the only real problem with this is when you get like long content. So if we did like the H1 of like font size, I don't know, 10 rem. Yeah, you end up with like awkward margins, so we'll have to like either pad and get away with it like that, I guess. we're kind of going to have to find this font as well. It's a really blocky font. How's everyone's weekend anyway? What have people been up to? I pretty much... What have I done? I actually feel quite productive. I sorted out that sign-up form. Trying to think what else I've done. Not too much. That looks like it. Open Sans. I kind of want the thickest font. Here we go. Oh, that is thick. Let's take that down a bit. And that one looks pretty good. Is it Montserrat? No, it's not. It's got a triangle. It's probably Open Sans. I think it is Open Sans. It's Open Sans or Work Sans. How equal are they? I'd probably go Work Sans. I think. How fat is the... Ooh, it's long though. It must be Open Sans. We'll go Open Sans and we will go... Yeah, I think it's safe to go Open Sans. We'll try it and see how it goes. Right. Because it's Copen, we're just going to grab the import. I'm going to chuck that at the top. And then it should just be Open Sans. Now, I don't think the rest of the font is going to be Open Sans. Probably just get away with like something random, like Roboto or Later or something. Cool. Right, that is a start. Now, obviously, that sizing does not match that, so we need to make this like way bigger. Not sure whether we should go with like Vmin or... I'm wondering as well. Let's just check. Howdy, howdy. We can't find that page. What's the G like? The G is not the same. So we're looking at a different font. Probably Roboto, looking at that. The G has a little curve. The A is kind of right. Probably like Roboto with a slightly reduced weight. Yeah, probably light 300. If we get the variable font though, oh, we kind of want. It's an awkward because it's like thin. We want that one, and we want that one. I guess we can just take all of them, right? Thank you. So yeah, we'll go with both of them. And yeah, we'll go Open Sans for that. And for our H2, or actually for just everything else, we'll go font family Roboto and sans serif. Cool, so that looks instantly better. I think the P tag will go font. Font weight 100. And probably for the A as well. No. The A is text transform. Cool. We'll just take that off for now. Cool, so that's getting there. Obviously this needs to be way bigger. Needs to be bigger, that needs a bit of a rounding. We'll add some color, we'll go like HSL 00, let's go 95. I'm gonna hide everything. We're going 98 actually. And we'll do a background of probably the kind of a dark gray. So something like 35, probably look about right. And probably contain this in its own little thing. Do you know what would have been good for this? Tailwind. We'll go like max width, clamp. We'll use the trick from the other day. We'll go 90 vmin. What was that trick actually? I've already forgotten how it goes. It's clamp 90 vmin, then the top end is your max. Where is it? Where is it? This trick. I like this trick. Oh, that's right. The bottom one, like, you don't even care. So, but then this will be like your max. So we could say 320. I mean, in this case, it's not really gonna matter. Cool. And yeah, when we get a bit bigger, I guess we'll go a little bit larger. So maybe we'll do it in rem. Oh, there we go. And I reckon it's like 1.75. It looks pretty big. I don't know, I feel like it looks bigger than 1.5. Maybe that'll work. I feel like the background is probably darker as well. I mean, I could just pause this. I use Owly's special tool. Oh, I always do that though. Alright, GIF scrubber. Not a valid GIF file. Is this video? Oh, it is. $53,625. So just so you can see what I'm choosing this app. It's pretty nifty for this kind of thing. HSL 53 6, 25. Yep, that instantly looks better. Although it looks kind of yellowy, I guess. I don't know, we'll have a think about that because that looks grayer to me. Also this, yeah, this big font, this is where, this H1, that's what we need to get sized correctly. Now, I'm not too sure. Should we do that or should we do the link? Let's do the link first. The link is going to be let's go to rem. Actually, let's just do padding. Do background. I can grab the color of it. So it says it's 44. I'm going to bundle all these at the top, so if anyone wants to pinch it and do their own design or whatever, then you can. $98. Right, let's swap them out. Cool. That is making a difference. And now we just need to apply some padding and stuff to this button. Also, this button needs coloring. I've lost it. I've lost the dribble shot. Where has it gone? What? I don't know where the dribble shot went. George, share your TikTok here so we can all see it. Yeah, somehow I just lost the link, Praveen. I don't know what I did there. I had the video link open in a tab and then I just lost it. Thank you, though. Thanks for the quick share because I don't know what happened there. That was really odd. We're just going to go super dark, I think. I've got too many windows open, that's the problem. We're just going to attach this one here so I don't lose it. And we'll go 0. In fact, I think we'll go like 4, like really low. And yep, we'll do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please fire a kitty or introduce yourself or whatever else you like. Wow. Right, that's kind of good. I think, I don't know, it's kind of getting washed out though, that button, right? Because all we're going to do here, we're just going to say like... We'll do something like that and then just do a border radius of like... we want a horizontal radius that's different, but we can just do like 0.5 rem. No, we want 1 rem. Glad you're here. Everyone's pretty friendly here, so welcome. If you ever have any suggestions or things you want to see or anything you want to ask, or just fire away, fire away. It's not strict here. It's very ad hoc and very casual, and I just kind of make stuff, and yeah, we just kind of get directed by what everyone wants to see. Unless I'm working on something particular, then I will give you a heads up that I'm working on something, but yeah. Sorry, I messed up that border radius. It should have been 2 because this is 2. It's been a long week. I think that's a bit fat though, right? Yeah, I'm using a stylus which just compiles to CSS. So, sorry, most people, like, normally everyone that is in here will have seen me write it, like, knows that's what I use by now. But yeah, if you do something like dot box, I don't know. Look. Color red. There you go, like it converts it all. So you can just do whatever. It's basically just writing it without grammar. So you can do things like, you know, and it'll work it out for you. The only annoyance is that sometimes it does this. So if you want to do like HSL, it'll convert it to hex, which isn't the best sometimes. Right, let's see this. So George has been doing some TikToks. That's why she's just silently dropped one in and not actually told anyone what it is. Should we have a look, see what she's been doing? Does it have music? Should I turn off the Twitch music? Although... Wow, that's really loud. Sorry. I don't know how loud it is for people. Tell me if it needs to be turned down. That's cool. Yeah, sorry. I wanted to check it out though. And funny enough, we found the video again. I bet that's like Lily Allen or something, so it'll get TikTok isn't banned. I just don't do it myself, but I can understand why people would. Um, I don't think it really works for what I do. Although I have been tempted to give it a go, but I just don't know what I would post. Yeah, we mainly watch it for funny videos, but George is trying to push her craft stuff. So, like, she sells the things she makes, which is pretty cool. Like, it's come pretty far in like not a lot of time at all. So. Yeah, so that spacing's good. This spacing, not so much. I feel like this. Oh, I thought you meant in the stream. Yeah, of course. That's crazy. You don't even like consider that as well, which is wild. I think as well, like, right, so like if it's banned in a country, think of the reach that is like missed by not being able to get there. And it's like such a popular app. Yeah, that's wild. Right, looking at this, I feel like this text is probably too big or too small. No, too big. But the button needs to be pushed away. So this music has got worse. Down. This happens sometimes. Sometimes we go through some tunes that aren't as good. Wow. Yeah, that is crazy. I did wonder there when it just said hole. I was like, do you mean we're going down the hole or? I wasn't sure. There you go, that's better. That looks closer. I still feel like the font size maybe not quite right. Let's go 0875 rem. That to me looks closer. And I might do some like less spacing. I don't know, like no, that's way too much. Don't know, it just looks like they need to be a tiny bit apart. Whoa. Whoa. That deserves a... God, they're loud today. I feel like that button needs to be lighter. I just don't feel like I got this grey right. This grey is... The more I'm looking at it, I feel like maybe that is better, but then this one isn't dark enough or light enough. Like that one should pop off there. Kinda. What's interesting about this, right, is that there's like a... See how it's... I mean, it's kind of happening in the background. We'll get to that point. We'll get to that point. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Like, desktop audio is really loud for some reason. I don't know why it's changed. So, like, if I have Twitch commands turned down, but then sometimes people can't hear them, and sometimes people hear them too much. So, like, if I do... Let's turn that down to, like, 10. Is that better? It's really fiddly getting the audio right on these. Like and let's be honest, I don't spend loads of time doing it, which I probably should at some point. But so I think we're almost set. We just need to make the size of this better. I guess we can go with like, so we can just make it like really big. What do we reckon? Like, obviously there's a big fat margin on it, and the line height is pretty terrible. So let's take the margin off to start with. Although we might get away with it. Probably get away with that. We'll add like a slight margin. Let's do... push it away ever so slightly. And I guess we could clamp the size of this. So let's do a clamp. And let's say at the very least, it needs to be like 5 rem. We go 40 vmin, and at the most, it's like 120, or what would it be? 20 rem maybe? That should scale all right. Yeah, that'll work. It's close enough. All right, now we can actually work on... We'll apply a little bit of letter spacing, actually. We'll go 0.5 rem. Let's push them apart a tiny bit. Yeah, just a tiny... maybe a little bit more, actually. Maybe like 1 rem. Yeah, that's probably better. Right, now the trick... if we watch this one, we watch it back. It's just the same thing underneath. Howdy, howdy. Thank you, sir. Or lady. Sorry. Thank you, person. Terrible of me. I tend to pixel for very specific sized elements. Thank you for the follow. Please introduce yourself or say hello if you feel like it. And to make up for my terrible hello, here's some bear heads. I tend to use rem for like typography, but I do use it on some sizing things. I feel like the way I do this is I follow... So my biggest advice probably is to just buy this book. Because that's how I picked up all my... This is how I went about it. So this is... you can probably get quite a lot of good info straight off the site. But they do an actual book. And there's a part in the book where they talk about sizing scales and how to set one scale and stick to it. And that is really important. And what they tend to do is define their scale in rem. So you just use rem for pretty much everything. Unless you have something very specific. So I don't think that there is anything about sizing in here. But if we look at... So I followed it from my own site. So if you look in here... And if you dig right down, I have this sizing scale where it's all just built out of rems. And I always feel like a neat trick is to just do... Where is it? So yeah, I don't have a font size in here. the font size should really be declared as 16 pixels, but obviously if you use rems, then you can just change the font size and it'll change everything, which is kind of cool. But also, yeah, kind of annoying if it doesn't work for people. But yeah, that's kind of what I just fall back on. If I have something very particular, I'll use pixels. I kind of feel like, I don't know, it's one of them, like, don't get too bogged down on it. Just make it. Get something out the door. I actually wrote an article on it. You've just reminded me by asking that. But I wrote an article on this a long time ago. There you go. 6 years ago. What to use for typography. And then there's all these different options. There you go. Like, I've changed my stance on this. But I do stand by that to an extent, which is using measurement units relative to font size is likely to cause a maintenance nightmare. So, but it really depends. If you're the person making it, like, design tends to, you know, trump things. Like, normally your designs are going to cater for stuff. Obviously, I can't open the book on here, but I will just double check for you what they do for sizing scales. It's a fantastic book, by the way. Like, it's not very long. It's about 200 pages, but honestly, it's worth every penny. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There's a whole part about sizing scales. Do you think I can find it for you? Where is it? So in the end, what I did was I just ended up copying the size scale out of this book and using it on my own site. Here we go. So yeah, they use a pixel system, but I just converted it to rems for my site and just went with that. I should have probably used pixels, but it's fine. So yeah, do you know what? I could probably get away with screenshotting this. I don't think. It's a nice graphic. And if someone buys the book, then they can't complain. That is the sizing scale, or a sizing scale that you could use. So you see how it goes like 4, 8, 12, and then just it's based on rems. So that's why I've gone with rems probably. But I probably shouldn't have. I probably should have defined it all as pixels. But it works. And I think there's probably a case of it doesn't matter as much these days because people tend to use like fluid kind of responsive layouts. It's like a lot of people are going to be using Flex or Grid where you're not going to have to define strict sizing for things. So I think to my actual site, like barely anything is strictly sized. So like, I mean the typography is not great here, but everything here is kind of fluid. So everything's just restricted by the bounds. Like nothing here is. This is a grid and it's just 50%. Like nothing is being told a particular size. Even here, it's just constrained by the content. Same again, just width 100. So yeah, I kind of, it's an interesting one. Because yeah, sizing just probably doesn't come up as much anymore. So like, I'm just using padding on these, and then they're just flex wrapped. So yeah, interesting. I think this is probably the only part of the site where I use specific sizing, which is like for these cards. Just because it's a pain to get them correct. And maybe this, but this will be particular to like these animations. So, yeah. Interesting. I feel like it's an article I could revisit. But yeah, it's a good question. So I have an idea for how we can do this. Could use a text shadow, but we're not going to. We're going to use 404. Well, thank you. And now I owe you. You're a first timer. I owe you an envelope. Do you? I was gonna say, do you have Twitter? Because that's the easiest way to get hold of me. But I'm not great at seeing the whispers in Twitch. Yeah, if you DM me on Twitter, and I will ping you. And then I guess we're gonna do. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do transform, translate, 3D, 0. And what I really need to do is I need to work out what I'm gonna do for resubs. I haven't sorted anything out. Don't think I don't notice the resubbing happening from people, but I've not worked out what kind of loyalty things I'm gonna make for people. This is why I try and make, like, I'm trying to make an e-commerce store boilerplate in the next kind of couple of weeks. I'm going to try and make actual things that I can send out, or people can go on and I give them a discount code, and then they can like buy a shirt or a hat or whatever they want. That's the idea. We've just not got there quite yet. We will. Right, so... And we're going to go opposite with this one, so it should, oh gosh, typing's gone out the window. Should go -5 Vayman backwards, but then we need some perspective. So it kind of works. We have to do a little bit of fiddling to get it right. Put this over here so I can see it. So yeah, these ones are kind of down and they look like they're kind of further away. Oh, I didn't save it. So that's the blur. If we go... What am I doing? We'll keep it. I guess actually 0. And then this color, I want to say it's going to be the same color as that, but that makes it look really dark. I could use a text shadow. Or I could just use more blurring. And yeah, we've not quite nailed this. I don't know if this is going to work actually. Now, the more I think about it. But that needs to come down a bit more. I don't know. I feel like it could work. My idea is that. Right, if I take this property swing. That sounds complicated. Oh, what have I messed up there? What's going on here then? Syntax. What have I missed? Oh, what the? Why have I done that? What is going on here? I've literally just written a huge article about this, and it seems I can't remember how to use it. And I would just reference the article, but I can't. Oh, I have a primer article on my site, actually. We can look at that one. I don't know what I've done wrong there, though. What have I done wrong? Inherits, initial value. At properties, swing. Does it need to be a number? Keyframe spin. Keyframe swing. We're just saying go from 45 to 45. And we're just saying animation, swing, 1 second, infinite. What have I done here? What have I found here that doesn't work? This seems really odd. I mean, honestly, this just works normally. What have I done? I mean, I can just stick it there. But that's not working either. Well, this is weird. This is really weird, because this should work. I don't know what's going on here. Is there something broken in my style somewhere? This is really strange. This should work. This is how you do it. Well, this is funky because... Well, how bizarre. It had to be directly on it. And then it doesn't actually work because swing is... That should be minus 45. But it doesn't look like it's doing minus 45, does it? I mean, it's really not going to make a difference how I've just wrote that, but... So I think the way I originally did this was better. To just do an alternate. Another trick here is actually just to do this and just do 1 and 1. But it's not fine enough, so you actually need to do 100, 100. Which gives you like it kind of gives you like a mock percentage value. So here now I can just say, oh, do you know what, var swing times whatever my distance is going to be. So like we might say 5. Now it'll only go 5% side to side. Sorry, times 0.05. But the cool thing is at the same time we could do, well, because it goes from -1 to, wondering how I could do an upwards. Technically I want another value. So this is the cool thing about like composition that you can do with this. So if you chuck that in there, and you do like swing X to start, probably break it again. Is it working? Yeah, I don't know what it was doing earlier. It just sort of had a moment. But yeah, what you can do here is, so we know at the start, we want swing Y to be minus 100 because it kind of goes on a curve. And at the end, we want swing Y to be minus 100, but at 50%, we want swing Y to be 0. And this is quite a nifty little trick you can do with calc. So you could now do var swing Y, and let's just say times, we'll do 5% up as well. And we'll do minus 1% even. You see how it's kind of like, see there, dude. There we go. So now it kind of like swings, which is definitely more the kind of thing we wanted it to do. Oh, it's because I'm using Stylus. We had this come up a minute ago. Yeah, so I use Stylus, which is like a processor that takes all the grammar out for you. I purely use it because it just saves me time. So that's how I write all this stuff so quick. I end up writing this all the time. Yeah, I understand it's a bit of a yeah, it's a bit of a long one. Sometimes when people look at this, they're like, "What is that?" Yeah, I've just created like my own little dev environment here. But if you grab any of my stuff on CodePen, so like let's look at this one. So like I'm using Stylus here, and I'm using the same stuff. But if you go in this top right corner, you can see the compiled versions. So like if you view here, you'll get the CSS version, which is really useful. I can indeed. Although Praveen has gone and he had all the links. Do you want a link to the video or a link to the dribble, Stefan? I bet you're gonna make it, aren't you? You're gonna beat me to it. Which is fine. I have no issues with that. If everyone wants to have a go at making it, I think it'd be really cool to see how everyone approaches it differently. Oh no, this was a design. This was a design that I'll put it in the chat anyway. But this is the video. But yeah, the actual design came out of Discord. It was a dribble shot. So it was just a 404 page design. And I think, I imagine, oh there you go, Andrew just beat you to it. I imagine it came off of mobile, because when I open that, it blows it up really weird. But yeah, it looks really cool. You were faster. I appreciate it. Oh, I had the page zoomed, that's why. Annoying. I really hope I haven't got this page zoomed. No, I haven't. Good. Let me check that out. Can I just put in any old thing and it will take me there? Oh, yeah, I've seen this. And it gets dribble shots of the color. Yeah, it's really clever. Just so people can see what we're going on about. Yeah, really clever, this one. Yeah, and then these are all like individual links. I love that. A lovely little HSL slider going on here as well. Kind of not too dissimilar to the one I built. Just missing the extra handles. Obviously this was the one I built. I want to put a better 404 page on my site. Mine is this. But there's a little, well, not an Easter egg, but if you notice, it spells no fun when you move all the letters out of the way. I don't think anyone will have seen this or noticed this, though. No fun. Yeah, and then when you go to hover on the link, it's happy again. It's the silly things. I had fun making this one. I had pinched it off my old site. So yeah, I feel like, so we're kind of there. I feel like maybe the color of the text needs to be slightly different so that it kind of sticks out off the background a tiny little bit, because you kind of miss the tops of it. So I feel like maybe just a tiny bit. Yeah, no one ever sees the eyes. They're always hidden. Although, you know what we could do here? Thinking about this, we could do something really, really cool here. I don't know if it'll work, though. I feel like we should try it, though. So my idea is if we did a background clip. So if I did like, although, yeah, I haven't done one of these for a long time, so bear with, it might not work. Right, and then I don't know if people are following, if they know where I'm going to go with this. Now you know what we could do with that. We could animate the position of the gradient, which would be freaking sweet. So we could do say it's like a really blunt line just to get the idea across. But what we could actually do is so let's just use like swing X, and let's do, oh, do you know what? I got a better idea. I got a better idea. Right, let's do red blue, and we'll do 50-50. And then we'll do calc var swing X, which is 100, right? But times 0.1, and then times minus 1%. Now if we put that in there, the background, it actually is I don't know if you can see that, but that gradient is actually moving. Very, very subtly. That's really cool. Didn't think that would work. Although, is it working or is it my eyes just deceiving me? No, it must be my eyes. That isn't working, is it? The concept should apply though. If we... Am I doing the wrong... I might be doing the wrong background property. Sometimes I mix these up. Background position... Right, so background position X is listed as 0. But what I could do... Oh, I know what's going on here. No, it doesn't seem to be updating. Why is it not updating? I'm determined that we're going to work this out. That's weird. Why is that not working? That should work. It's just a number. We're doing some stuff. Although the Y wouldn't work, but... Ooh, I know why it's not working. Because we're not actually applying the animation. That's still not working. Well, isn't this weird? Technically, this should work. But I don't know why it's not working. Only this part isn't working. Just to mess around with it for a second, let's just see what happens if we do that. Well, that's working. But that isn't, so we need the animation, which is fine. We're just duplicating it. But the background position isn't working, which is really strange. Because technically that should work. This is quite a cool effect though. It's like a blooming text. I think I'll throw that into my article because, yeah, I never even thought of doing that. It's quite cool. But yeah, the background position should work. So I don't know what's going on here. Let's try. Well, I don't know what's actually. So the red circle-y part of this color stop should be moving. But it doesn't move. Which is what's throwing me off here. Like, background position X, right. Well, normally it will work with percentages. So, you know, for example, if I did... so by default, we're going like central, right? And if you change to 0, that should go over to the side, but it's not, which I don't know why it isn't. But I guess... I know why it is. Because 0 doesn't make any difference. What if you omit the X and apply the calc directly? Well, normally I do it like so I can break it up, so I can see it. But what's weird here is that this background position, even when we do an actual hard value, doesn't seem to be working. That works, but now we've lost. Now we've lost the back end. I mean, I could do times a pixel, I guess. That wasn't really what I wanted to do. So we can put our coefficient back in, and we could do var x, var y, and let's just do 200, 200. See, like, that is kind of working. In a weird way. But the background position will be going from -100 to 100 and up and down, but technically we'd actually want it to go like that. Which kind of breaks it. Or no, do you want it to go like that? Background position always confuses me because you actually normally do the opposite of what you think you're meant to do, and then it kind of works. But yeah, that's really not working for Y, is it? Yeah, you could do this with GSAP, it would work. I've never thought to do it, but doing this stuff with property is real cool. And I kind of just need as many cool examples before I release this new article. I kind of think this would have made more sense though if we'd just worked with an actual background and now we can actually see it. That would have probably made more sense, right? Oh well. But we can kind of see what's going on, which is kind of cool. It's like if we blow that up, so we can see that the background, because the background position is based on pixels, it doesn't really work. Because you want them to be percentages, but obviously the percentage thing, the percentage trick just doesn't work. Oh, now it is working. Well, I mean, how weird. That definitely wasn't working a moment ago. Yeah, I don't think we need to worry about the Y. I think we can just set the Y to like a permanent sort of spot. And we'll just worry about the X. And then if we just work out like a good distance or something. We just got to work out a decent offset and then it should be alright. Although definitely not getting this offset right. What's going on? Is that it? That's almost it. There we go. And then if we just set like a... There we go. That's what we wanted. That is freaking cool. I didn't think that would work. Yeah, that is neat. So let's do some lighter colors. Yeah, not bad. How you doing? I didn't know if you'd be back or not after the onslaught that was yesterday. So I guess actually we just do like something like bright lit header and header, and then it will kind of work. So yeah, I just need to make probably put a color stop in. We tighten it up a bit, and then it should. Obviously, that is a little bit too much. That's not bad. Not bad. This one's going to fit nicely into my article. It's actually a perfect use case. This tune is freaky as hell as well. Every day. Don't you worry about that. Every day I do this. I'm like, I wonder if that would do that. Oh, awesome. You're not by any chance from Australia, right? You don't have to say. Just a hunch. If not, that's really cool. Canada. Oh, from somewhere else. This is somebody else then that I'm not sure of. So I used to get a few like people say, "Oh, like your stuff is used in our boot camp," and it was Australian boot camp. I can't remember the name of it. I will find that link or that information. Blurbs. Coder Academy. There you go. That was for CSS stuff though. This is just general messing around. Ah, cool. Yeah, that's a rabbit hole to go down. There's a lot of stuff in there. Yeah, that's the place where I tend to get stuff out quickest. Like I haven't shared this one yet today, but this is one we made. We started it yesterday. But yeah, the only thing I would say with my CodePen is if you're in CodePen and you start, like, if you look on my public, that's one thing I don't know. Like, I don't know how people actually go around CodePen. But if you see, like, stuff that just looks all the same, like, you normally have to go past it to find what I've been actually working on. So, like, you get an idea of the kind of stuff I've been messing with or what articles are on the way. Because I tend to do a lot of demos about something. But then the only problem with this is, like, the other things get lost, right? So it's like here, like, I've ended up doing loads of these buttons. But then, like, I really liked making this, but no one's really seen it. But it got made. That's the main thing. Right. All we need now for this is this actual big shadow piece. And I've got just the trick for this. I think the timing's gone out as well, hasn't it? Oh no, the timing would work. Yeah, this project is courtesy of, I don't know what his handle is in here. PK Spider? Is that right? But he's gone. He's disappeared. He literally just pinged me this afternoon and said, do you reckon you could make this? And I was like, yeah, I reckon I can. So that's why we're doing it. We figured, why not? So I think I'm just going to go with a cloak. And I'm not sure how this one's going to, or how this shape is going to work. But we're going to find out. I'm not sure because it's like it's an ellipse really. An ellipse with like a transform origin here, like at the top. But it's like an elliptical cutout, which is always a bit awkward to do. So yeah, we're going to see how we can do this. Oh yeah, it does. Let's change that. I'm not a fan of that. Dog. Sand. A lot of animals today. Oh, that one's cool. Let's go with the 5th one from now, if this loads. Alright, 1, 2, oh, that one's cool. 3, 4. Oh, come on. That's boring. Oh, well. It's going to be really bright as well. Oh, not a fan. So this cloak piece, this is going to be tricky. So I think can do like height 100 VH, width. It sounds wild, but I think I will actually use VMAX and give it position absolute. Maybe make it bigger. Give it a, oh no, this is going to be really fiddly to do. No, it won't. I can use this as a container. This is just like off the cuff thinking about how I'm going to do this, but I think if we go with like a container and then and I'll position it and show you how I'm thinking this will work. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I guess it's cool enough as it is. Right. we'll go minus 50/50. I've got, and the report on my end is that it's coming through fine. It says excellent on Twitch. So that cloak container needs to, and this is always a bit weird doing it like this, but I like bemming things. So right, so now we've got this overflowy bit, and the color of it doesn't really matter, but I just want to color it so you can see it. Now the cloak is, it even looks cool just being like that really. The cloak is going to be, good to hear that. I do wonder sometimes, because it's kind of weird when you do Twitch streaming, you kind of set it up and then you just leave it and you hope it just carries on working. I rarely touch it. So for any settings, the only thing I ever really make any changes for is if we ever get back to working on the interactive layout and when I add these kind of animations and things. So, sorry, the kitty is super loud. Right, so I feel like if I did this, if we did radial gradient, and you know what, I feel like Stefan will know this like off the top of his head, but I struggle with remembering these sometimes. So I'm thinking radial gradient ellipse, but I can't remember the terminology for making it the width and height of it. So I'm just going to go ellipse at 50, 15, transparent blue. Now it's not going to look anything like we want at the moment, but okay. So you can kind of see what I'm going with. It's kind of working. But we need more of it. So you can kind of see how this is maybe going to work. But I need to know how to make the, that's the best way. So yeah, that's way too fat. So I'm going to have to work out. The trick here will be, though, that we do transform, rotate. And then we literally just do var. Ooh. Yeah. We can just do var swing x times 45 degrees. And it will just rotate that element based on the swing. But I don't think it's going to look like much at the moment. So if we bring that down. Whoa. So yeah, maybe a little less than that. Oh, because it's doing... Right, let's do that. So you can kind of see how it will work, kind of. But it's really not right. But it will be. We will make it right. We'll get close enough. Ooh, that looks so weird. Oh, there we go. So, yeah, we're going to need this to be way bigger. That's what we're going for. See, that kind of works. Obviously, we've got this overflow, and we can just cut that off. So if we cut that, what's going on? Oh, there we go. Just didn't save. Thanks for the follow, brother. Howdy, howdy. Introduce yourself. Say hello if you want to the awesome people that we have in here today. I'll give you an air horn. Obviously, you don't have to introduce yourself or say hello, but it's cool if you do. Don't be afraid. Ask a question. Don't ask a question. Do whatever you like. So, one thing I'm noticing is that the light is going the wrong way. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's one thing I'm noticing. One quick trick would be to actually start it in reverse. So you could do that, and that would sync it. But, yeah. So that's a really quick trick. The real trick would be to actually fix this, but yeah, that's one way of doing it. So let's have a look at background ellipse, background image ellipse. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. It'll rock my whole desk then. I'm pretty sure there's a way to do thickness or like ellipse sizing. Or maybe there isn't. I don't know. Let's find out. See, yeah, look, like farthest corner at 40/40. This is like how you do the sizing. So if we did like so if we did, so let's turn off our animation for a second, just so we can try and work out this shape. Right, so it's obviously huge, which isn't very useful. But if we did, although I don't know, is that even going to work? I'll do background color black on it. And then we said, oh. Oh yeah, that makes sense though, because like we could tighten that up. Like we can tighten the color stop up a load. That's one way of getting halfway there. But the positioning just isn't right. Neither is the thickness. But does it work? Can you do like 25%, 45% at 50%, 45%? Does that even work? Yes, it does. There we go. What a guess. Well, that's freaking handy, isn't it? Right, so if we do the animation now, and then we can see if we got the transform point right. Kinda. It needs to come down. I don't know actually. Does it need to come down or does it need to stay up? Let's try it and see what happens. Thank you, thank you. Appreciated. Oh, that is pretty cool, isn't it? And obviously we can just change this rotation. We can make that a bit, oh, a little bit less or a little bit more. Oh my word. There you go, that's pretty. I don't know how this is going to work when we start sizing up. Oh, that looks pretty good. Yeah, not too bad. It kind of works. That's the hardest bit about this. Like, that's the hardest thing sometimes with doing the dribble shots, because they're they're converted from they're converted from designs, and sometimes they're not actual real things. So it's kind of like people design them for the perfect 1920 1080 screen, and then when you start actually trying to make them responsive, like, it's an absolute nightmare. But I guess what's happening there is it's the container is becoming VMAX, it's becoming bigger, so that's actually making it harder to keep a handle on. Because if we get it down, and we went up, VMAX is now 1920 1080, which kind of works. But yeah, I guess you could maybe, we could try this with VMin, because it's currently square, so it wouldn't matter. And then if we went up, yeah, look, it will stay the same. Although you will notice there is a slight cut on this corner, which isn't ideal. So let's bump that to 300. And that kind of works. And it's consistent until you do that. Until you do that. Which is why you should probably go with VMAX. Because that makes sure that you cover the whole screen. But at least we can change this. So that's quite cool. So we can do like 50%. That will be longer. So if we went 40% and we, I don't know, increased it a little bit. That's pretty cool. And obviously we can change the position of this, so we can go up and make it a little bit longer and a little bit thinner. We can kind of tweak it however we want, really. Obviously you have to be mindful though that like this square is huge, so like the slightest percentage change makes quite a difference. So if we get our original, oh, the original's really long. Oh, well, that's not too bad then, because we have good control over the cool. Yeah, we can do that, or we can get close to that, I hope. So let's go with 50-50 maybe. Or maybe not 50-50, maybe like 48. We'll go like up a little bit. Oh, that's good. And what we'll do is we'll do like a long length. We'll go 60 and see how that looks, and then we'll maybe, yeah, that's the only thing, it's 60, but then it's, alright, I see. So you see how like when I do this, it's like the center point is here, and that's because the background position is like centered. So what you actually want to do is you do that, and then you tweak it, and you keep bumping around until you find a position that works well. So there you go, that kind of works. But the only issue with that is we kind of lose the shine, and I feel like it kind of looked better before. Let's go. Actually, oh, I don't know. Do you want to go down a bit? Like 55. Nah, and that's the thing. Like, you can't really do a. So I feel like for our example, we should probably do either center it around the top. So like, maybe for our example, we just center it around where that focal point is, and then just make sure that it's enough room to cover the, because like that looks better because the focal point actually makes sense. But then it looks kind of weird because it's super long, right? Then it kind of looks better as a circle, maybe, for our example. And we still have playroom on this as well. Like we can still mess around with making it wider. Yeah. It's kind of tricky because it's never going to look more... It's never going to look perfect because of how it's going to resize. So like now it's like that. But I don't know, I think that looks pretty cool. And obviously we can change the duration, so that's another thing we haven't actually mentioned here. Currently it's at 1, but like we can change it to 5 seconds or something like that. I bet I didn't even call it speed, did I? Oh, I did call it speed. Normally I called it duration, then change it to speed, and it just completely breaks. I feel like that is actually a pretty good spot. I don't know what you think. I feel like that kind of works. Or should we make the light a bit smaller? See, it's always going to be tricky because it's going to, like we say, we've gone down to this viewport and now it's smaller. But I don't know, I feel like it looks quite good. Obviously, I'll take direction from everyone watching though. But I don't know, I feel like that looks quite good. Oh, we've still got red over the top as well. We should probably get rid of that. Now we'll see actually what it looks like. And I'd say probably speed it up a little bit. Seems really slow for some reason. Maybe I just got so used to it being 1 second. I feel like that's a winner. I quite like that. I think the bit I'm happiest with is the fact that we've got this clip on the word. That just works. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll code pen this up, and then you can obviously do what you want with it. You can have a go, change it up, make it cooler. I think the thing I'm annoyed I didn't think of it, but it's just the way that It's just the way that you could use a background clip to do like spotlighting. I don't know why I didn't think of that. And technically you could have done that anyway before. You could have transitioned a background position, which would have been really cool. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I totally should have dropped one of these into my article. Don't know why I didn't. Yeah, so annoyingly you can't scroll. I thought that would happen. I don't know why you can't scroll though. You should be able to scroll. Oh, because we've done overflow hidden. We just want overflow. Actually, we can just do a cloak. Oh gosh, this is horrible, but we can do cloak wrapper. So if we do cloak wrapper, do height 100 VH, width 100 VDubs. Bear with. That actually needs to be... Huh. Gonna have to work out a way around it. Or we just apply a background color of black, right? Oh no, because then that breaks it. This is a little conundrum. Although I guess we, instead of doing that there, you do it on... Oh, that's so annoying. How am I going to cover this? Although I guess I could put it in... I guess I can just put all of that in. Although then that doesn't work. And then this will break because it's now in here. And the cycle continues. Ah, CSS, we love you. How do I get around this? Although I guess actually, do I just go with cloak wrapper fixed? Seems like that would work. Why doesn't that work? I don't get why that doesn't work. Guess it's overflowing it. But it should be fixed to the top and bottom. What am I missing here? It's like there's some special margin in here or something. I mean, it obviously works at that kind of viewport. It looks fine. But yeah, just interesting. Interesting why that kind of breaks. It could be because that has the margin on it. Nah. Cloak wrapper. Supposedly. No. Cloak container. Why is there a margin there? Or does that need to be fixed as... Ah, that needs to be fixed as well. Whoa. But then because it's got a transform, the overflow doesn't work. Quirks. I think we just leave it like this. And I would, if I was doing this on an actual site, I guess I would spend some time and work out a way to come around that, but I'm not too worried about it. I mean, the main purpose of this demo was to get this part working, which is working, so. That's cool. I really like that. What should we do next? Or should we call it a day? And we've worked through... Well, we got this one done, which is good. Trying to think what else we could do for a bit. Yeah, this one's much more successful than yesterday. We could do some Next.js stuff for a bit. Or we can go and have dinner and chill out. Just seeing what other ideas I have in my block of stuff. I do want to do this confetti article. We could even just play games. That is a possibility. I mean, this is the gaming rig after all. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to start on something too big. Obviously, we're at 2:30. We're actually longer than I thought we were today. So maybe we'll just call it there, and we'll just let everyone get on with their day. I didn't realize we'd gone on as long as we have. Oh yes, it's way later than I thought. All right then, cool. Well, maybe we'll call it there, and maybe if I keep it short, maybe I'll drop on tomorrow. I think tomorrow, if I do come on though, let's do some of them. That's a great idea. If you want to see me do some of them for a bit, I can show you. I just feel like I like to unwind at the end of stream and not just go, right, see ya. Kind of lets you ask any questions or anything that you... Because I always find... don't get me wrong, sometimes I do just end stream. But I always find if I watch something, or if I did watch something, and then someone did something, I was like, I wonder how they did that. And I think of that 5 minutes after the end of the stream, when I could have asked. So... But yeah, we'll go on... I should be logged in. I think I've only done one of these. Yeah, I did this one. What did I get? I got 623. But I'm not very good at these. But I can show you how I approach them. Yeah, I'm not great at them. Where's like number 1? How do you start from the beginning? Alright, here we go. So what do I do? Start on... Alright, here we go. Let's go for it. Yeah, so bear with. I don't do these ever. I'm wondering if we could just do something like this. So we need a big green square. And I'm wondering if we could just do background. Linear gradient, red, red. Then, yeah, I mean, I can show you. I can tell you how the stopwatch works. Let's try and work this one out quick. Let's see if I can see if it will let me do this. That's interesting. You can't do the any selector. Huh. I thought that would work, but maybe not. I know you can do that though, right? What have I broken? Two seconds in and I've broken it. That's true. I deleted the style tag. I was stylising my way in. Right, here we go. Here we go. So I would probably do something like this. Although, why is it cutting off? That, like... I shouldn't really be doing that, but... Okay. That means there's like a special element there somewhere. There we go. 50%. I don't know. What do we reckon that is? 60? Maybe like... 70? 65? 66, 68, nah, 67, nah, 66. And then we'll just give it the right color. So #5 D3 A3A, and then it's probably like, what the hell's going on? B5E 0BA. That actually looks like a pretty cool. So it's slightly off. I wonder what the size of this box is then. I want to know where these extra blocks are coming from. What is that bit? Are there just extra elements in here? I could do... I mean, this can just be anything. You can do something like that and then give it a display block, but I think the trick is like using I or something like that. There's like a tag that you can use. What is it? I mean, if I was just to do div, but it's not the entire thing, so maybe I'll just do body. Body will be safe. So it looks like 200 pixels by... I guess it's 200 pixels, right? That's probably the weirdest thing about this, is that, yeah, it looks pretty good. The weirdest thing about CSS Battle to me is that everything is in pixels, and I'm not one for doing a lot of sizing with pixels. So, alright, let's submit that. We'll see what it is, and then we'll rip out all the white space and see what it gives us. Alright, 736. Cool. 100% match. We'll take that. And then we just rip all this stuff out, right? I think that's how it works. So we take that out. We take any space out we can. I think this will work. Not sure. Take that out. I think you can take that out as well. You take that out? $769. It's not bad. I don't know how you'd make that smaller. What would you do to that? I guess you could do background image and background color. I mean, the no repeat makes sense. I don't know. What's the leaderboard? Where'd I come? Like 120th? Probably not even that, right? Where did I place? Not even in the top 100. There you go, 839. Can you see the... Can you see how other people have done it? I guess not. Well, we did one. I will show you how the stopwatch works. Although, like I say, there is an article coming out for this, but I will show you how it works. There's a little bit of trickery, which I don't actually do in the article, which is quite cool. So, the trick here is that I'm using at property, and I create 6 digits, and each digit represents like one of these, right? So this will be like, this is MS10s, this is MS singles, this is S singles, S10s, M singles, M10s. Now all I do is animate them. So all they do is animate to the different values. So like the milliseconds go up to 100, but I couldn't do 0 to 100, so I need to do each digit 0 to 10. And then like seconds 10 goes to 60 seconds, so that goes to 6. Second single goes to 10, so it goes to 10. Minutes goes to 60 minutes, and 10 minutes, like intervals. So that's how that part works. Now what happens is the animation fires as soon as you hit this button, or not this one. Actually, yeah, this one. So all I'm doing there is all this little toggle button does is flips the play state of all of these animations between running and paused. So paused, running, paused. Now this part is where this is probably the trick of this whole thing. This button, or that part, is actually a type reset. You can see it here as a button with type reset, and this stopwatch is a form element. So what happens is it's pretty easier to show you if I did. See, it's nifty because I've tucked things away so you can't see them. That's the trick here. So I've done this screen reader only sort of styling. If I bring that out, you might see them. Right, here you go. So there's actually two buttons here. And these are two checkboxes, and this is a reset, and this is a form. So obviously when you hit a checkbox, you can reset it without any JavaScript. You just use a type reset. Now the trick is two of these buttons do the same thing. So there's a play button and a pause button. Now the way I'm tricking it is that all of the digits by default have no animation set. They're all animation none. And then when I check the start checkbox, this one, I say change the animation name to the correct name. If you're still with me, hold your hand up. And then as soon as start is checked, like as soon as it's checked, because that one, if you just toggle this one, starts it, but it takes the animation away, you see? But the pause button only cares about pausing, so the trick is, as soon as you hit the start button, make the Z index -1, hide it, and then you can only press the pause button or the reset button. And as soon as you hit the reset button, you reset the form. So that's how it works. So it wouldn't care. So like if you did it with this one, you're resetting it. But if you do it with this one, then you're also resetting it. But if you do this, you do nothing. But you can't actually press this until you've pressed that. So that's how it works. It's quite a nifty little trick happening there, but it's pretty cool. I was quite happy when I worked out that animation name trick. That worked wonders for this. I've used it before, but you know, like when you use something and you forget about doing it for a while, that's what happened. So I completely forgot about that technique. I've used similar things for Matryoshka dolls. Yeah. Oh, it's localhost. Animated Matryoshka. There you go. So I did a similar thing here. So these are just CSS. And this kind of goes more into how this trick works. So like 1 doll label, 2 doll label, 3, and then reset. So that's what we're doing. So if you did like show the next, show the next, show the next. I'm sure they do, but they never end up in my corner of the internet. But yeah, if we keep going through, and then like you could go and then reset. This article is actually pretty decent for kind of giving you an idea of how it works. So like then you slide them across, reset, and as you build up, then you're able to build this like Russian doll CSS thing. And then you just take that further and further. So that's what's happening behind the scenes to get it in the right place again. And then the further you get, and the further you get, and the further you get, you add some finishing touches, and you end up with these bears that don't work anymore. What's going on? Oh. And there you go. Russian bears. I should definitely resize these though. This is all done in a weird way. Yeah, I should rework this. Maybe we'll rework this. I wonder if I can sort this out now. So, yeah, because this is I've done this in a really funky way. But I don't know if these sizings will work. Alright, let's just try it. Vmin. It's going to be huge for a second. But then if we go to... see what that does. Okay, that is still very large. That's better. Does that actually work? The power of Vmin, hey? The power of Vmin. Now I'm going to assume that the distances must be done in percentages then. I'll say it's been a long time since I looked at this. That slide distance looks a bit funky, doesn't it? I try. The funny thing is, like, I don't really it's just something I've always just done for fun, like on the side. So I always just mess around with CSS as like a fun thing. It's never really been something I thought like, oh, I better do some I better try and push CSS limits. It's never really been like that. It's always been like, oh, I wonder if you could do that. Oh, look, that's really weird. It's like that. But then if you change these, then I guess that would go back. We're going to find out. I hope this works, because it'd be nice to give this one some life. Kinda. It's almost there. I guess there's something else missing. Ah, here we go. Slide out. And maybe I can like update the colors or something. Neat. That actually works. And yeah, all you do is you just keep going, and the bear gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Does it not go any further? Okay. It gets to there. The last one shouldn't have a split though. But yeah, then you can just reset it and it comes back. And you can't spam them either because I stepped the Z index. That's cool. Animated, what did we say it was? Matryoshka. Oh, I don't have my don't have my funky bear emoji on the stream deck because I'm on the wrong machine. Hello? Oh. There we go. I wonder if there's any more like rigid sizings in here. Bears after. Yeah, it's just that 4 pixels, isn't it? Like, technically that could become, I don't know, 1 vmin or something like that. Yeah, if you just search for like, yeah, there's just loads. There's all sorts of ones, like there's cats and stuff. I can't remember who shared it with me. I think it was, I know the person, I can picture their avatar, but I can't remember their name. I've had an absolute mind blank. But yeah, someone pinged me on Twitter with me, and said like, you should use these. So I was like, yep. So what I've done is, although I can't show you, I've set them all up on my Stream Deck as buttons. That's how I'm able to write them out really quick. But on this machine, I don't have access to those buttons because I've not set them up. Yeah, it's really cool. That's like a big crab or something. I don't think there are any more hard-coded styles in here, apart from this, which is, that's fine, 44 pixels is fine. But I think all the animation is good. What I will do, though, is I will add a background color. Whoa. And I think we're going to go with 280, 80, 90. Like a nice light purple. Maybe even a bit lighter than that. I always thought the cool thing with this is that you can actually, if you work out the count, yeah, so like here I have 10 bears, but you can actually go to like 20 bears and go like really deep with it, and it will work. So obviously they start getting pretty small and pretty weird looking, but they just keep getting tinier. That is awesome. I didn't think it would get that small. I don't know what's happened there, because the last one shouldn't be clickable. So I don't know what's happened there. Normally the last one just becomes like non-click. So I don't know what's happened there. But it works enough. So I'll take it. Also, like the bear shirts, you can just like make them whatever color you want. So like, thank you. Been good to, yeah, good to have everyone in today. We're coming up to 3 hours. I'll call it on 3 hours. We'll end on 3 hours. So if you have any more questions or anything, then yeah, fire away. Oh, you can always ping me anyway, but I will call it for the day and I'll go get something to eat. I feel like the actual bear color could probably be a bit better. Maybe if I took the saturation down a bit. As I say, I've not really looked at this for a long time, but yeah, like even that is a bit better. And I think the black is probably a bit too harsh. Probably fix that up. I feel like the stroke on Wow. And yeah, this SVG is way before I started doing optimized SVGs, so I couldn't actually tell you which bits are the eyes because I can't actually tell unless they've been class named. Bear claw, bear body. Where's bear head? I'm imagining this will be bear head, but oh no, that's the t-shirt because that's stroke. Oh, there you go. There's some arms, head. This is crazy. Obviously, like I said, I haven't looked at this for a long time, so. But my SVG skills have come leaps and bounds since these days, so. Stroke. I'm looking for the stroke color, but I can't see it. Where is it? Am I just missing? Oh, there is no stroke color on this one. So if I did stroke red, I'm hoping the eyes go red or something goes red. Oh, interesting. That okay. Did I miss stroke line cap, stroke mitre limit, stroke dash rate, stroke opacity 1? Oh, stroke none on that, sorry. Stroke line cap, stroke none. Stroke none. Oh, these could be fills though, couldn't they? Ah, here we go. Here we go. This is one. I mean, even my classing names are very different. So I'm hoping this is like the nose or something. What? What did I just fill? Oh, it could be the inner part, right? Oh, notice how the duplicate is color different. Wow, there's something weird going on. Oh, so I did it. Well, that's no good, is it? So I did like different colors for different parts. Yeah, look, the shirt is even not right. This is why it's good to come back to like old code and kind of remind you that you've actually like learned things or you've come further from where you were. But yeah, I don't know why I can't find this I mean, I probably should let's just inspect it and see what happens. It's the ellipse, an ellipse, and it is bear stroke. So why is that not? Oh, because the fill is still applied to it. Okay, that's fine. I can work this out. So there's two ellipses, there's bear stroke, and then we do bear, whoa. See, anything with the CodePen editor is a bit fiddly. Bear stroke. Like, you see how I just do that, and then I should really just set the autosave off, but I didn't anticipate that I'd be updating this pen. So if we do bear stroke and then take, actually, do you know what? We are going to change the behavior for a second. And then we take the fill off. So we should see like red eyes. But we just got to make sure that the inner part works. So we should see red eyes. There we go. And then all we got to do is update our little stroke piece. And we'll be like, cool. This is going to be HSL 010. I just want to soften it so it's not like a harsh black. And then that should look a lot better. Yeah, so it's like a bit softer. Interestingly, like the nose still looks kind of dark. But yeah, it's just a little bit softer. It looks a little bit nicer. And probably change this to like a blue, I guess. Go like 93. Change it a tiny bit. Oh, and then I've obviously got to run it and save it. So used to auto saving. Cool. Well, we will call it there. We're at 3 hours. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you learned some things from today. And if you want to see anything in the next stream or any other stream, you just let me know. Ping me on Twitter, email me, send me a suggestion, something you want to see. Like today's one. I mean, realistically, we have to thank Praveen for picking this. So it was his thing that he wanted to see made, and we made it. So thank you, Praveen. He will be fast asleep now, I imagine. Here we go. I'm glad you could make it. Here you are. To tell me about C and C++. You should have shared your project. We could have taken a look at it. I feel like if Angela wants to go on Mod Patrol, she's more than welcome. Yep, probably gonna get booted. Right, let's ban this one. We don't really tolerate that stuff around here. Or anywhere. Well, I don't anyway. I will ban you myself. Well, that was an easy one to get rid of. I'm sorry that I'm sorry people had to see that on the way out. But yeah, annoying. Yeah, yeah. I probably well, I'm not very. I didn't actually. I'll be honest. I didn't actually know how to hit the ban button. I had to find it. So sorry it took so long. Oh, your second week in React. Sorry, I missed that part. Yeah, I don't know why people come on and think they can just like slam people in chat and streaming and think it's cool. But if anything, it's just really sad state of affairs when that's how you have to spend your time trying to put others down. But each to their own. If you need any React content or you want to see some React stuff, let me know, because I can go through React if you just get stuck with things. Yeah, I mean, that's what I work with, so. Yeah, I just clicked the name and hoped that that was what it was, and luckily it was. So, but yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't like to pronounce handles, but yeah, if you get stuck on your project or you need to find a way out how to do stuff, then everyone here will help, I'm sure. Basque Country. I don't even know where that is. I'm about to end the stream, but we ended on a sour one, and We had some people in here trying to cause a ruckus. Autonomous Community of Spain. Well, that sounds interesting. Ah, no worries at all. You're more than welcome. Like, I'm happy to help people out. I know what it was like when I learned React, and it was like pretty horrible. I started like right at the beginning though, like 0, 1, and just the concepts were like, what is going on here? I remember trying to get my head around Redux the first time. I was like, nah, this what? But now it's just like second nature. So, this is really cool. I've never heard of this. Yeah, I'm sorry, your timing isn't quite right. I'm about to end the stream, but maybe I should have made that a follow button, and you could be notified next time I'm on. Although I do post it on Twitter. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. And what should we end today with? What should we have as our animation? I say we go with ship or launch. Yeah, thanks for coming by, Stefan. Always good, and you normally save me in a tight spot as well. We'll go with launch. Yeah, you too, everyone. Have a great weekend. Make the most of it. I might play some games. We said we were gonna, so. Yeah, you dropped in just at the wrong point. I don't like to do it the whole like follow, subscribe, like, but if you follow, you'll get pinged when I next come on, and that's the easiest way to say, unless you follow me on Twitter, and I do post just before I come on, but yeah, that'll be the easiest way. So, cool. Right, I'm off. Have a great weekend, people. Hopefully see you on the next one, and stay awesome.